Hi, my name is Rainer Canal, and I was asked by Lorenzo Bruni why I was choosing this project for Prato, for Firenze Base in 2002. The project was called Leggere Antonio Gramsci, reading Antonio Gramsci, and it consisted basically of reading Gramsci. And I started these reading projects in 1992, a lot of time ago, and I still keep doing them. And they are an important part of my work, and consists basically just of reading, communal reading out loud, and we discuss it then. And then I make these artworks. In this case, we had them laminated 100 by 70. I never received the works back, at least I think so. I don't know where they are, must be somewhere. Now, I also record them. In this case, you see here the tapes. This is Lorenzo Bruni in 2002. He was at the time a student, and we still are in touch. So here you see him reading in his WG. At the time I had this fancy turntable and a camera I still have, but I guess it's kind of outdated. The tapes are also outdated. I still love those tapes, and we recorded it all. Now, I also was showing works from my series Basic Arabic, Basic Chinese, which I also already studied. They come and I think I also played part of my first 500 hours Basic Arabic, and also my Chinese learning. When I learn languages, another project I started in 92, and I still continue. I still do both. Today I'm here living in Harlem for 20 years, and in this place, and we do reading James Baldwin. In the study sheet, the study work which I also do, I usually use also the study sheets as drawings. Now back to the reading. There was a nearby Casa del Popolo, and we were using this Casa del Popolo also to display artworks. Now, I love these photographs. They are kind of not only historical documents, but also beautiful ways to photograph people. And I have been doing this for 26 years, and I just love it. I like to look at people and like to see them in this kind of way of thinking that is so different from the way we think we are thinking, because it is the space between here and there, presence and absence. And needless to say, it's an interesting historical document. And here we go. Now, here is our big chef, Nanucci, which we all love. You also have the site, like this photo I like in particular. You are able to read in some kind of a new space. I don't know what happened to the space, but we had also the chance to use that space. Okay, now I go to the next question, just to not speak for too long. What kind of a role do have non-profit spaces and the global art system have in common? Well, or why do we need them? Yes, we do need them because the global art system and the non-for-profit, they feed on each other, but also they're completely separate, and very few people participate in the so-called global art system, and then only for a short period of time. And so it's actually not that relevant to the majority of people and to art as such. I think the non-profit space are very important. Now, the next question, cosa significa per lei conquistare il suo spazio di libertà? What does it mean to conquer a space of freedom? Well, it means a lot. Actually, 20 minutes from Prato, I just made an exhibition with a museum called Centro Pecci. They invited me, and if you go and look at canal.info, you can see this project, which at the time was called Marx a Prato, Gucci a Prato, and please teach me Chinese, please teach me Italian. So first of all, let's go there. I made this fashion show, and it consisted of beautiful fabrics. Let me go right away to the concept here, managerial. I had the concept, and I was able to work to make beautiful. Wait, that's another one. I want to go here. Okay, good. Yeah, so first I made this logo. You see the logo. Please teach me Italian, please teach me Chinese. And then I was able to fabricate these beautiful fabrics, which were then made into clothes, and there was a fashion show. But there is also another part. The outfits I took from Gucci, therefore Gucci, please teach me. Prato, Marx a Prato, Gucci a Prato. Marx, by the way, because they have a lot of problems with a big Chinese population, and therefore they have invited me. The city, the community has a lot of monies spent for me to make these fabrics and then to render them into artwork. Anyway, I had not only the rich part of these fabrics made, but also works made by look how beautiful this shit is, but also stuff for the poor, the worker, Okay, so here are the worker's outfit. It was supposed to be half. There were various labels. The first one was like, just please teach me, big labels, The second one was biographical, because the idea was to just buy the clothes, the outfits of the actual worker. And then let's go to the worker outfit. And because I did have eventually problems with the worker outfit, and in fact it was so bad that I was my basically artistic freedom was gone. They tried everything to prevent me from showing this stuff, and in the end I was even beaten. So here are the screenshots. This is, by the way, the film. There was an article. Okay, that's so what I did was also to show these preparatory videos, and that's what they didn't like, because in the video you see here you see my labels, and in the videos you see police action, and then they're all freaked out. And I was eventually, even here, by the way, you see the rich part, my fabrics, my outfit, that was applauded. But when it came to the worker part, when it came to the worker part, the rights, they stopped. You see the labels here with screenshots of when you like put in a search machine. When you put in a search machine, let's see, you put in a search machine textile worker and Prato. In this case, when we got the work, when we got the clothing, that's by the way the only clothes that's correct, because here this woman worked in a factory because she worked in the factory for her daddy. She's born in Prato. Her father owns a factory and she worked in that factory, so she brought us her pants. We were allowed to take a picture of her and put some biographical data, but I wanted from every worker this biographical data and be put on the actual clothes. But that was all a problem. Here t-shirts I do, and this person, by the way, is also some immigrant that came via Libya. There was a lot of resistance. Even in the making, because they didn't want me to project all the stuff in the back. By the way, here so you see, this is the preparatory film I made. By the way, the lady had a real Gucci. But anyway, so when this type of police action was shown, then the performance was interrupted. There's a bit of excessive police, and it was all interrupted. And it came to really tumultuous scenes. Let's maybe go to Prato conflict, and when you go this content of Prato, you can see really how insane it got. Therefore, I made two websites. One is called Gucci, please. One is called Centro Pecci, Rescue Centro Pecci, and one is called Gucci, please help me .com. Gucci, please help me. Gucci, please help me.com, because everybody was like speaking for Gucci, speaking for the Chinese. And okay, so the city of Prato had, these are the labels they just hated. They hated these labels. And, those are some of the problems which I did not invent, even thought everybody calls it then, that's an article about the event for which I got a lot of heat, as if I wrote it, because it mentions racial tension. And they said, because of these articles, we have racial tension, And anyway, so in the end, this woman in particular, she freaked out also. And look, she's very happy here. But she freaks out also and interrupted the event once the scenes got too violent. As you can see, I always projected during the rehearsals, during the photograph. I always let people know what was going on, and yet they couldn't handle it. They interrupted the thing. That's in particularly the label they hated all. It permanently disappeared. It was never put on any clothes. And when that scene came, then I got into a lot of heat. And as you can see, the museum absolutely tried to hinder by not refusing to make the label. And when they then made the label, they cut the information, the news content off, okay? And then it got really physical. Eduardo Donatini, a board member of the Centro Pecci. Here you can see a board member, was basically trying to beat me up. Very crazy guy. And there's also a woman who invited me, a direttore, no? Her name is basically, but here you can see the old guy, that's Donatini, e soprattutto chi è il vecchiettino arrabbiatissimo che strilla contro l'artista nel filmato, non si vede ma è andato avanti a strillarli come un pazzo fino a mezzanotte. Actually he had to be held back, he tried to smash my face. And by the way, Nomineri put this thing up. I don't know who she is, but she got 1,300 viewers. And I still look for information. The second person, because the city of Prato under Cristiana Perella is withholding all my material, all the video material, don't release anything because that board member was trying to smash my face. I had to run away. And this woman, Rosanna Tocco director in the Prato Comune, high up dirigente, she rammed her elbows into me. And so guess, and now comes this fantastic woman, Perella. I want to also show you the Perella. By the way, they then just went forward and they were so upset with me that they even eliminated my name from the invitation card for the fashion show. And here comes this absolutely crazy encounter. And here you see, for example, classical victim blaming from Cristiana Perella, who needs to really go, because she absolutely violates any form of freedom of speech and artistic practice and is a disaster. Even though I worked with her before very successfully, it turns into a disaster because she tried everything to ridiculize me. And then here you can see, for example, I do not believe an artist can dissociate from his work. I never did. Jesus assumes I dissociate from their work, because I said I was also surprised how strong these BBC reports looked. Artists have to elaborate on their concepts, she says. Artists have to elaborate on their concepts and cannot just present us with what everybody can find on Google. This woman is obviously not capable of leading a non-profit space, and it's a disaster how she makes Centro Pecci into a very, very, very neo-fascist kind of institution. And again, it's really terrible. Anyway, she should go to a place where they can some pure forms of art. You go there, okay? So please check yourself. Gucci, please help me and rescue Centro Pecci. Now, the last question is, have spaces changed from the 60s to today? Again, it doesn't matter when they were founded, it matters who is running these places. And if you have people like Cristiana Perella that turned them into fascist censorship, self-censorship spaces that don't understand anything, and censor and act in an absolute crazy way, then it just makes it doesn't matter who actually does it, okay? But anyway, I hope Base is able to show the entire segment which I do it here. Anyway, thank you so much.